Well, 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 well. Oil me up and take me down to the cave. We're about to get real freaky in this video. Multi-striker reroll. Now, now I know most of you, it's too early in the video to start messing up, bro. We literally just started. Now I know most of you have probably seen Kassadin reroll before and asked yourself, surely a 1-star Kassadin doesn't just solo my entire team. You're playing TFT, my boy. You're in the cave. You're here to get fucked. It seems Riot watched that as well and decided, we might have gone too far with the steel toe, so let's dial it back a bit. But then they created a different monster, Hecarim. And there's a lot of cool new comps you can play with this new Hecarim. With that said, today we're going to be testing our boundaries a little bit, because there's a lot of things that go into making these comps work. Stick around to the end, because I'll show you all of the different versions of multi-strikers, as well as the comp that is absolutely getting hotfixed at some point if Riot is the company I believe them to be. Multi-strikers as a whole are an interesting comp. It's the only comp in TFT for which you have to sit on the floor in a full lotus position and just pray. Just pray. And this is absolutely necessary, because if you don't hit very specific things, you're getting sent to the cave quick. Now this comp is reliant on a lot more than just items or hitting Kassadins. This comp is entirely reliant on, you'll never guess, luck. Maybe luck is the wrong term. Call it a accidental skill. So let's talk about Ashe, Kass, and Jax. Reroll first, shall we? Number 1 is items. Don't get caught out here like these freaky ass gnomes contesting this comp for literally zero reason. Especially not after the nerfs. You can't be doing this. Buddy got a Kassadin in minion rounds and said, "Soon may the Wellerman come," and just ran it the fuck down. I respect it, honestly. That's inspiring levels of commitment. He saw it on the website, guys. Dishsoap, the world champ. I go on the website too. I'm just gonna be honest. It's a good website. You know, they updated it. They got Salvador Dali working the design. It's absolutely beautiful. But yeah, you might initially think you need very specific items for the void-dwelling gentleman and his brethren, but it's actually a lot more flexible than you would first suspect. You essentially want to figure out who your 2 carries are going to be. If you're building for Ashe, if you're building for Kassadin, these are questions you must answer before the entire lobby puts you in a chain and takes you to a P. Diddy, because trust me, that's a real multi-striker, so you'll get your ass kicked out there. The point is, you need to slam items early if you're playing this comp. This is a comp you need to win early. The deciding factor in where you will eventually place is in the health you save. A tempo comp, if you will. Pull out the vocabulary words. Sometimes you can play it even from a mediocre opener like this one, you know, Akali 2, Ashe 2, press the attack. Now this is actually a personal tip from me. Now don't tell anybody I showed you this. This is a bit of a secret sauce here. When you're one off a champ in the early game, I like to scream, "High roll check." Just absolutely dunk on the reroll button, just as hard as I possibly can. So yeah, this is a pretty decent opener here. I didn't get the Hecarim, so actually kind of low rolled it, I think. But anyway, if you're re-rolling Ashe, the items look like, you know, Ginsu's, and then a third item will eventually get figured out, probably Shojin or something after the rework. Honestly, you probably need some type of damage on Ashe after the rework. For Kassadin, you would think Ginsu's is a must, obviously. You want Kassadin swinging faster than Millennia out here, but you'll find with Nashor's Tooth, you actually get a lot of the same value without having to ramp up through the fight, especially after they reworked Nashor's Tooth. It's actually even better on him now. Bloodthirster, probably the only must-have item on him for the healing, the shield. And then the third item's where it gets interesting. You know, the general consensus is slamming a QSS, grabbing a blanket, and then taking a nap till stage 5. This is what squares do. What sharps do is actually forego the QSS and go straight for a Rabadon third item. With a lot of the nerfs to Kassadin's damage, you have to make that up by actually building damage on them. So Rabadons will have Kassadin slicing through the fabric of space and time, turn your enemies into Hannah Baker, absolutely slice them up, become their 13th reason why. However, coming across 2 rods and building a Rabadons feels pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie to you, because you need rods for Ginsu's, for Sparks. So most of the time, you're going to be building a Crown Guard on Kassadin. So those are your best items. Nashor's, Bloodthirster, Crown Guard. And if you look at the stats, the stats, you'll see those are actually his best items by far. Obviously, if you manage to grab yourself a Banshee's Veil, you're able to unlock a whole different level to this comp. But that only happens to people who seem to have good relationships with their father. Their parents are happily married. They're doing great in school. I can't remember the last time I got a Banshee's Veil playing Kassadin. Oh, I get it a lot playing Karma. That's for sure. Yeah, I'm playing Karma. Yeah, this is really good. Just in case there's like a strong gust of wind, my Karma will be immune to it. So that's pretty good. Now, if you were born with a particular gift for gargling trumpets, then there's a lot of other options for a savant such as yourself. It gets real kinky real quick. Here's a Kassadin with a Prowler's Claw. Turns him into Spider-Man as he swings on my backline. This was the first and only game of Syndra I played while it was disgustingly broken. I have like 170 stacks, and I lose to this vine-swinging orangutan. Prowler's Claw. Yeah, you're a Prowler, alright, bro. Somebody put a muzzle on this kid. Keep him away from water parks. Speaking of Prowlers, actually, Jax is another unit you get to slam items on. Even with the nerfs this patch, he's still a great tank. You kind of want to build him similar to Kassadin, Bloodthirster, Crown Guard. But the last item should always be a Stone Plate, because he scales with resistances. Okay, now, if you made it through all of that, hey, great job. Feel free to walk around, stretch the legs out a little bit, celebrate this moment by popping a dab of acid. That seems appropriate at this time. TFT content does kind of put you in the mood a little bit. Now we can talk about some Hecarim. That's what you guys are here to talk about. Like I said at the beginning of the video, a lot of where you go in game is going to be dictated by your relationship with God. Unless you have a nasty spot for Kassadin, and I mean perfect items, perfect augments. Most of the time you're going to be playing Ashe, Jax, or, you know, some alternative to that. Or, again, you're playing Kassadin to tempo into something else. If you have all of that, then it should be relatively easy to play out the reroll. But if you check the lobby and you find Fatherless Frank, oh, stars are born into blind picking Kassadin, yeah. Because he woke up on the side of his bed, shocked that he made it through the night. Breathing is pretty tough for someone like this. So yeah, better get your Kassadin games in. You never know when you'll never get to again. You only live once after all. Yeah, great items for Kassadin too. Yeah, really good. Yeah, there's a jail cell with your name on it, big dog, for sure. In that case, like I told you, this gets real kinky. You gotta be flexible. It's like playing Twister with an elephant. Don't be the elephant. You gotta be nimble, sure-footed. You can play Gwen Fiora, Karma, carry it to 9, switch Gwen out for Diana late game. If you have Ginsus, you can go Callista, Fiora, play around Nasus, Callista, Camille late game. I told you, you gotta be flexible. You gotta be flexible. But that is where the new Hecarim comes in. This comp is basically foolproof. I mean, the reason I say this comp is gonna get nerfed is because 2-star Hecarim is ridiculously stable through stage 4, and some of even stage 5, depending on where you are in terms of units, and that cannot stay like that, and that will not stay like that. They definitely overbuffed them a little bit. Honestly, I think once the muggles at Riot decided it was time to stop messing around and actually fix the bug with combat bandages, that's like one of the best augments on all of the multi-striker comps. Easily, like it's actually kind of borderline broken. I'm not gonna lie to you. The biggest buff they did to him was fixing the fact that he would bug out and start moonwalking in the middle of the fight, or how he would like charge at a unit and then stop for a second to consider if maybe that was the wrong choice. Maybe there was another way. A countless realities. You see them as cracks in a mirror, each individual shard. You see all of them distorted. You see all of them as reflections. You see all of them as all of you. So yeah, once Seabiscuit here stops doing the cha-cha on him, turns out the unit is disgustingly broken. So this is the comp, basically 5 multi-striker, Shen, and Tom Kench for Arcana. So you can reroll this, in which case, Godspeed, soldier. I'll see you on the other side. Or if I don't see you on the other side, I imagine you're starting the draft of the tweet you're going to be sending Mort when you inevitably contested 7 ways when this comp gets discovered. So you can reroll, or you could use Hecarim 2 to Fast 9, which is pretty effective. In terms of items, there's 2 that are basically a must, Bloodthirster and Sterax. Other than that, it's basically just whatever you get. Titans is probably the best, but using a bow feels weird because you need Rageblade and you need Last Whisper or Red Buff or whatever. But I guess if you find yourself having an abundance of bows, I guess you can have at it. Otherwise, more healing is good. put a mittens on him, he'll be flying around like a Pegasus out there, just absolutely majestic, absolutely beautiful. Sometimes you don't even need items. Sometimes you're basically begging in the street for one sword, and I mean begging. I mean grab bag, reforgers, the component augment, and you just cannot hit a single sword. So you end up with this contraption over here. It hurts to even look at it. It's like uncanny valley shit. It's like tryptophobia. I'm so sorry. Even more horrific is I beat 9 fairy with it. That's the true horror, actually. And I end up losing to 10 portal. Yeah, I know. 10 portal, 9 fairy. Yeah, this is why you don't pick the spatula portals or the trainer golems, because the game turns into Dark Souls. So I lost to 10 portal, but honestly, it was kind of winnable. It was hey, it looked a little winnable. I'm not gonna lie to you. It looked close. It looked close. Imagine if I didn't have these Peter Griffin looking ass items, bro. I don't know. 10 portal, better watch out, dog. So this is how you play this comp. You gotta have a strong multi-striker opener, obviously. In stage 2, you gotta econ. Econ. You need money for this comp. And so in stage 3, the test for how good your econ is going to eventually be when you level to 6 at 3-2, how much gold do you have left? If you have 50 gold left after you level to 6, you're either the GOAT or you're playing Scuttle Puddle. Yeah, you're not slick, bro. You're not slick. If you have like 30 gold after your level, then don't worry. You know, play it like normal. Get back to 50 gold. Slow level to 7. Check your text messages. Another USPS package has not left the warehouse. Same old. War never changes. But if you have a lot of gold, I like to level to 7 after Carousel and roll down to 30 gold. For Callista or 2-star Hecarim, either one of those is massive. And in stage 4, that's where things get real promiscuous. I told you, we're pulling out the vocabulary cards today. I'm not messing around. We're getting real slutty. You gotta check your lobby to see if there's any fatherless Franks out there looking to disrupt your chakras by contesting your units. If there are, then no biggie. Get Hecarim 2 and then just start leveling. While holding any extra Hecarims you find, just because you can't roll for it now doesn't mean you won't eventually hit it. So you level, put in more Arcana, play Camille, all of those things. But if the ritual you did before you played pays off and you get a multi-striker emblem, then you actually don't roll on 7 anymore. You actually roll on 8. So in stage 4, you level to 8, either at 4-2 or after Carousel, and then you play 7 multi-striker and you're able to fit the whole comp while still having good odds for Hecarim and all of everything else that you need to hit. Then from there, it's the same thing. You can either reroll it, or if not, then again, 2-star your units and just start leveling. And yeah, that's basically the comp that's absolutely terrorizing high elo right now. I've played this comp pretty much every game. I've gone below top 3 one time. We don't talk about it. Master lobbies, high diamond lobbies, it basically does not matter. This guy couldn't believe his eyes. He had 5 Preserver, Milio 2, everything Giga capped, and I still just absolutely Gangnam styled on him. It is what it is, bro. Just get better. I think you just need to improve, you know, that's what it is. I think instead of asking why I'm so strong, you should instead look inward and ask, how could I have played better? You know, it always begins with introspection. You know, maybe if you had Zoe 2, you could have won. You know, how do you not have a Zoe 2 in stage 7? You know, I think that's your real problem. See, you left some power on the table. You know, learn and improve, big boy. You know, learn and improve. With that said, go out there and get your OP, boys. Trust me, this is getting nerfed 1000%. So get your games in quick. That's all I got. Peace.